We moved to the country, still work in the office all week, putting food on the table without the food miles. If we eat it, we grow it, work all week, pick and eat. I am the executive gardener.
So we've just set up the new greenhouse. This is a 4 meter wide by 15 meter long polytunnel. We've got 50% shade cloth on the roof, which is retractable for the winter, and then we've got 50% shade cloth around the outside. So here in the northern rivers of New South Wales, we get a lot of rain. Subtropical climate, particularly in the summertime, growing vegetables outside in the rain is just a waste of time. Without the protection of this polytunnel, we have no hope of growing anything. So what I'll be doing is I'll be setting it up as another hydroponic farm. We're looking to put 6 grow towers here at the back of the tunnel where it's a little shadier. There we'll grow all of our lettuce and leafy greens, and we'll get into the installation now. So the first step is to put down some large pavers. I use 600mm by 600mm, 20mm thick pavers as a base for each of the towers that we'll be installing here. These towers are on casters, so by installing these pavers it enables us to rotate the towers to give, you know, the back side of the tower or the south side of the tower here in the southern hemisphere the same amount of sun as the northern. And so we'll be putting them down, and we'll be putting 800mm of clearance on each of the 4 sides. That's very generous. You certainly could pack them in a lot more than that. They probably only need about 400 to 500mm of clearance on each side. But by giving that space here in our home garden, that makes it far more comfortable to harvest and maintain the towers. So the first step is to level the ground. We want the paver as level as possible. By leveling the paver, we ensure that the water distribution within the inside of the tower is uniform. And that's going to ensure that all of the plants, regardless of which side of the tower they're on, thrives. So I'm just going to level it here with a rake. You can use some river sand if you want to, but I've got 10mm gravel on the base here, so that's probably sufficient for leveling the tower. So I'm going to just use an iPhone as a level because we're too lazy to go back up to the tool shed to get a proper level. Make sure it's nicely firmed down, and then we'll go use the iPhone to measure just to find out the level. That's pretty much 0 there. You can see 0 there. You can see, and 0 there, and 0 there. So that's quite level. That's quite stable. So I'll do that for all 6. And then we'll be assembling our towers. So we'll be using a commercial grade vertical tower for growing leafy greens, lettuces, rocket, basil, herbs and so forth. The first thing to note is that, you know, this is not the standard $200 or $300 tower that you'd buy on Amazon or Temu. This is a very high quality commercial grade tower. The way you can tell that is, firstly, it's a 100 litre base reservoir, polyurethane base reservoir, food grade. So this is very sturdy, flexible, won't crack or break, you know, with sun exposure. Without that size base reservoir, you're not going to be able to maintain the right nutrient quality, pH and water temperature. So we start with a very, very large reservoir there. We've got the casters so we can rotate the whole tower. Here we're using 7 sections. This is a completely modular design. We can use, you know, 8 sections, 9 sections, 12 sections, 5 sections, whatever you please. 7 sections, each section gives us 6, so it gives us 42 bunches of leafy greens per layer. Now you'll also note in this configuration that there is no bolts or rods or stainless steel rods or anything like that. That's great for maybe if you want to do something, you know, at home, sort of toy-based configuration, but you want easy maintenance in here. What we can do is we can assemble, disassemble this tower very, very easily, as you shall soon see, and that means we can clean it regularly, and that's really, really important because we don't want, you know, build up of nutrient salts or anything like the algae. They stop for a minute. Okay, to show you how quickly we can assemble and disassemble this tower, I've put the base in, the casters. First the base reservoir goes on top of the casters. As you can see, we'll rotate that quite nicely now. Next, the lid. That simply plugs straight into there. It's quite a tight fit, which is good because we want it to be sturdy and strong. That's done. First layer, we'll be doing 7 layers as I said previously. So the first layer just snug fit. There's no rods, no screws, nothing like that. Literally just fits on top. Second layer, line up the holes. Again, just slots straight on top like this. So it's just really quick to assemble, quick to disassemble. That's the trick here. And we work our way up. Now when I get to about the third level, I'll just pause there for a minute. Open the front cover at the front. The next thing that we want to feed in is we start feeding in our tube. This tube is silicon, again food grade, black, very important, no algae. So I'm just popping that into the top of the pump as so. I'm going to just leave the pump in the base. This is really just for convenience. Now there is a float indicator that comes with the tower, and that indicates the amount of water, but I actually just use that hole instead to simply feed the power cord. I'm feeding the silicon tube through the middle pipe, as you can see. It's easy to feed, and once that's done, then I'm going to continue on stacking my towers, and it comes up the top. So now I go to the next level. Put it through. Again, line up the holes. Notice that there's no screws, there's no bolts, and that's what you get with a commercial grade tower. The domestic ones, you don't get that sturdiness, so you need to put rods in and all sorts of assembly inconveniences, which is great if you're doing it once and you don't intend to maintain your tower and clean it. But if you've got 6 towers or more towers, or you just really want a convenient setup, there's nothing better than a commercial tower. You do pay more, it's like 3 times more, but you do get a much better result and it will last you a lifetime. And the final piece goes on the top there. Feed that through. Sit there, sit that there, and then the final piece is the irrigation star assembly. So it has 2 parts. That plugs straight into there. It's quite straightforward. And then once you've done that, then just put that through the silicon tube again, and that nicely just sits on top of there like so. And there we go. The last final piece is, oh, I did make a quick mistake. I forgot to put the top cap. The top cap is different because it's solid here, so the water is going to distribute through here and then vertigate through these small tubes. So I made the mistake of not doing that. I'll just take that tube off. It's no big issue. Get the top tube, put that one straight through like so. My star distributor again, straight on like that, and that's done with the top cap, which will just keep the algae from growing at the very top level. So there, just in a couple of minutes, I've completely assembled the tower. It's very easy, didn't require any tools, and I'll be doing that, you know, every probably 6 months. I'll take that all down, give it a good, you know, wipe down, and then redo it again and start it fresh, so that I know that, you know, everything in here is clean and is hygienic and there's no kind of mold or any algae sort of building up. So the hard work's now done. Now we're going to set up the first tower. I've filled the tower basin up with 100 litres of water. Note that the reservoir is all black, including the lid. That's a really critical feature of this particular commercial model. But make sure that there's absolutely no algae growing inside, and that's really important to keep that water algae free. This particular model has a pump which is on an automatic timer. It times it to be 3 minutes on and then 10 minutes off. It's built into the pump, so that keeps it properly aerated at the roots level. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dose it up with the nutrients. We're using the 2-part nutrient. Of course, the first part, part A, is calcium nitrate. I use the Yarra brand of prilled calcium nitrate. I find that's the best quality for greenhouse grade crops. Now I know that 100 mils of this weighs 100 grams. I've already done that weighing. It just happens to coincide. 100 mils equals 100 grams, but you should weigh your fertilizer accordingly. I want 1 gram of calcium nitrate for each litre of water. So 100 litres, that's 100 grams. So I'm going to put that into the reservoir. Make sure you keep it in an airtight container. Calcium nitrate is a magnet for moisture, and here in the tropics, if I did not have an airtight container, that would be completely waterlogged within a couple of days. The humidity here is probably close to 100%. Just giving it a bit of a stir. You don't need to give it too much of a stir, but just giving it a bit of a stir because to get it dissolved. Calcium nitrate does dissolve quite rapidly in water, so it doesn't require too much of a stir. And that's what I'm doing, just giving a bit of a mix. Now what I'm going to do the same, 1 gram per litre. Now you can mix your own fertilizers from straights. I go off a lettuce mix. Again, I use the Yarra handbook to get the right mix, but today I'm going to use a pre-mixed fertilizer. This is Campbell's Diamond Blue, which is very, very good for leafy crops. Again, 1 gram per litre, and I know that it's just under 100 grams. Sorry, just under 100 mils is exactly 100 grams. So I'm going to now put that into the reservoir as well. Give it a bit of a rinse. Keep it sealed. And again, give it a bit of an agitation. I'm just using a piece of pipe here, or a mixing tool. Dissolves quite rapidly in the water. And then the next step will be to, once it's fully dissolved, and I'll just give it probably about half an hour so that it's all settled, then I'm going to measure the pH and I'm going to measure the EC, or the electrical conductivity of the water. I'm aiming for an EC of about 2.2 to 2.4 and a pH of about 6.5. So now the water's had a chance to properly stabilize post adding the nutrients, so we're going to measure the EC and the pH. Firstly, the EC, you can see it's perfect, 2.3. You can see it's flashing between 2.2 and 2.4. Now the pH. Based on that, it's about 6.0. Perfect. It's a little low, but you know, I like to just keep it a little low because I tend to find that with lettuces it goes up. And now the fun part, we can now start planting out our seedlings. I grow my seedlings in this Oasis cube. It's very easy, just pop one pelletized seed in the top and you've got a perfect seedling ready to go. So all I'm going to do is just simply drop those in there like so, and that's ready, and we can break off the next one and work our way through the Oasis blocks and work our way around. I tend to put varieties on alternating levels, that way you get just a nice neat outlook.
We moved to the country, still work in the office all week, putting food on the table. Without the food, my